Hi.
Hello.
Let's not go that close.
Athletics is a big thing on injuries these days. In athletics, there's always a risk of injury, either minor or major. There is no stopping a participant from getting hurt at some point in time. One of the most serious injuries in athletics is a head injury. However, from past to present, technology has progressed rapidly in ways of presenting and treating these injuries. Also, the knowledge has increased the discovery of serious and dangerous they may cause. In the past, sports which have a lot of physical activity like football weren't closely watched and injuries were overlooked. Coaches just simply told their players to toughen up and get back on the field. However, they did not possess the technology or knowledge there is in the present day. Now, head injuries such as concussions are being watched very close because of the serious injuries in the past. Injuries are classified differently all the time as years go on, and either by a type of injury or the seriousness of it. The two main ways of classifying injuries in the present is either by macro trauma or micro trauma. Both can be and are very serious. The only difference is time. Microtrauma is an injury caused by a strong single blow or force exerted on one another. In head injuries, common examples of this are found in physical sports as in football. Things like concussions, broken bones, and even spinal injuries are possible, along with many more types of injuries. Football players always make the mistake of leading with their head, which is only protected by some padding and plastic helmet, which is the main reason why this sport is the leading cause of head injuries in sports ranging from high school to professional. Microtrauma is from a repetitive motion over a long period of time developing into an injury. An improper method of exercise or playing in physical sports for many years is a good example of how this injury develops. Things like carpal tunnel, brain damage, and stress fractures are possible outcomes. Concussions are the main outcome of both types of injuries. However, there is no true definition. They can be classified in multiple ways following by the seriousness of the injury. Some people classify by levels of consciousness, vision, balance, while others determined by levels of unconsciousness. There are three grades given according to severeness of a concussion: grade 1, grade 2, and grade 3. Grade 1 is the least serious of the three and account for 90% of concussions. There is no loss of consciousness, but the athlete may have trouble remembering what happened. In some cases, these athletes are allowed to get back into the contest unless symptoms persist. Grade 2 is loss of consciousness for no longer than 5 minutes, and grade 3 is unconscious for more than 5 minutes. Grade 3 also has memory loss. Grade 2 and grade 3 are both very serious and need medical attention immediately. Not only are concussions a serious head injury that occurs in athletes, but there are more types of head injuries which are most likely less common. Examples of other more serious head injuries from sports are even post-concussion syndrome, second impact syndrome, and epidural hematoma. Epidural hematoma is caused by a severe blow to the head, which leads to bleeding between the brain and the skull, or just in the brain itself. Second impact syndrome, fortunately, is very rare. It's a condition when an athlete suffers a brain cell damaging concussion and then returns to competition too early and suffers another mild concussion. This causes rapid swelling of the brain and leads to severe brain damage or death. Post-concussion syndrome is a very complex disorder involving many symptoms such as headaches or dizziness. This isn't developed due to the intensity of the concussion, but simply just by the athlete and their ability to take care of it. Symptoms can persist ranging from a week or even up to a year depending on the athlete. The main treatment for this disorder is time. Injuries like these are rare but will continue to happen in contact sports. Finding the best treatment for head injuries is very important, but also ways of preventing them from happening is just as important. Prevention can be done in many ways, ranging from using the proper equipment to the intelligence of coaches and players. In every sport, there is protective equipment designed to be worn by the right athletes in the right way. Another precaution is making sure the playing field is correct. Fields have to be kept up before every game and practice for the safety of athletes. A lightning storm is also a big problem, especially if you're practicing outside. You have to head indoors. Head injuries have been overlooked and gone under the radar for years. Even though there is now a better knowledge and ways of preventing these injuries, they will continue to happen in athletics. That's just in physical sports. The physical contact cannot be taken away from the sport without ruining the games. And I have a picture of epidural hematoma, which is bleeding in the brain again. And then here's what you're not supposed to do in a contact sport of football, which is lead with your helmet. The crown of the helmet right here, hitting the ball carrier.